when it comes to physical healing, I think the very, very most important question that we ask the higher self is why? You know, why does Bob have cancer? Why is Bob having this experience with prostate cancer? Let's say there's always a reason from the higher self perspective. It's a message. Illness is always a message from the higher self for some reason. So we answer that question, why? What's that reason? And then I ask the higher self, well, now that he knows, is it appropriate for him to continue with this experience with the cancer? And the higher self usually has one of three answers. No, he doesn't need it anymore now that he knows, and it can be cured instantly. I've seen stage 4 cancer cured instantaneously in my office.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Another possibility is the higher self says, no, he doesn't need it anymore, but he has to do X, Y, and Z in order for him to heal himself. But at least we know what X, Y, and Z is. And then
Yeah.
it's Bob's choice. Does he want to do X, Y, and Z? Right. And then the third possible answer is, no, Bob really needs to continue with this experience because he hasn't yet learned, he hasn't yet absorbed what he needs to from having had this experience. So one of those three answers happens, and we find out why. Why are you having this experience?
No. So if the person has to continue, do we know if this person is gonna die from it, or after they learn, they can maybe,
It
get better?
depends. It depends because this is, this plane of existence, 3-dimensional Earth, is a place where our souls experience free will. And so the higher self cannot negate that free will. So let's say, for example, this would be a very, very typical example. Bob has prostate cancer, just newly diagnosed, comes in for a QHHT session to see about healing. And so the prostate is generally, it's a part of our sexual relationship. So generally, cancer in this area has something to do with our romantic and intimate relationships. So let's say the higher self says, well, Bob needs to forgive Mary, his ex-wife, and he hasn't forgiven her yet. We could heal him instantly right now, but he hasn't decided if he wants to forgive Mary.
That's the hardest
And
thing
in
to
order
do.
to heal, he needs to forgive Mary.
Yeah,
And so we're
forgiveness.
going to have him continue with this experience of this cancer until he decides to forgive Mary.
I had a guest 3 weeks ago, I think, and she had the exactly same stories. She doesn't do what you do, but she can talk to her higher self. And her mom had cancer, and she asked her mom, maybe you need to forgive so and so from the family. And the mom was like, no, you're crazy. And finally, she was talking about it. The mom did, and she cured herself. And she was like also very advanced in cancer, and the doctor didn't understand what happened.
The second book in my trilogy is called Finding Forgiveness, Surprising Healing from the Higher Self. The higher self uses forgiveness most of the time for physical healing. Most of our physical situations, especially things associated with anger or jealousy, which are typically cancer and autoimmune, where the body's attacking itself. Those kinds of illnesses are usually remedied through forgiveness.
We make ourselves sick.
Absolutely.
We kill ourselves with feelings.
Exactly.
When
With
you think about it,
resentment and
crazy.
judgment, jealousy, and all of these negative emotions.
Yeah. I've opened a few new spots for my 90-day program called the Inner Oasis, designed to help high-achieving women who are stuck in chronic stress and burnout to retrain their nervous system so that calm, sleep, and balance become their default, not a temporary break. I will be using a unique blend of sound healing, energy healing, and journaling. So if this is something you want support with, you can book a call at www.inneroasis.org or use the link in the description to get your personal 90-day recovery plan for free.